Okay, so hello everyone. We will continue our discussion on the clipper topics. So today we are going to analyze this type of a clipper circuit. So at the end of this session, we will come up with the name for this. So we have to plot the input output characteristics with respect to time and the voltage transfer characteristics. The resistor R1 is connected in the circuit to limit the current flowing through the diode, and we are assuming a constant voltage model for the diode. That means if the diode voltage will be on, whenever the voltage across it is around VD on value. Okay, that is around zero point 0.7 volts for silicon diode. And if it is greater than VD on, the diode is on and the current will increase sharply, but the voltage is constant. And whenever the applied voltage across the diode is less than VD on, the diode will be off. This is the constant voltage model for the diode. So for this circuit, which you see in front of you, we have to determine the input output and the voltage transfer characteristics. So let us begin. So this is clipper number 7A. So let us first identify only for the diode D1 what will be the turn on condition. So when will diode D1 turn on? We have seen this before. D1 will turn on whenever V in is greater than VD1 on. Let me write it as VD1 because there is another diode D2 also. So whenever V in is greater than VD on, and we can consider VD on common board as around zero point 0.7 volts. So whenever V in is greater than VD on, we can say diode D1 is off. Diode D1 is on. So what about diode D2? D2 will be off. So diode D1 is on and D2 is off. Okay. And what is my output state in this case? Very simple. Whenever V in is greater than VD on, diode D1 is on and D2 is off. And my equivalent circuit looks something like this. Okay, this is open circuit and this is short circuit. So what will be my V out? In this case, what will be my V out? My V out will be equal to VD1 on. As you can see, it will be a constant and equal to VD1 on. Okay, so this is clear. Now let's concentrate on when will the diode D2 will be on. Okay, this was the first condition. Now let us analyze when will the diode D2 will be on. So D2 will be on whenever V in is negative. And we have seen that before, whenever V in is less than minus VD on of that diode voltage, turn on voltage, then the diode becomes on. We have seen that in the last session. So whenever V in is less than minus VD2 on, then only we can say that diode D2 is on. So whenever diode D2 is on, D1 will be off. Okay. So in this case, diode D2 is on for this condition, V less than minus VD2 on. So the circuit reduces to this, and here we have open circuit for D1 because it is off, and a short circuit for D2 along with the supply. So what will be my output voltage over here? Output voltage will be equal to minus VD2 on. Okay, clear? So will there be a condition where both the diodes are off? Yes, in between. So whenever if my V in is less than VD1 on and my V in is greater than minus VD2 on, then I can say that both D1 and D2 are off. Okay. If V in is in between this condition, we have if V in is less than VD1 on and V in is greater than minus VD2 on, then both the diodes will be off. Whenever both the diodes are off, as you can see over here, my equivalent circuit looks something like this. Now, what will be my V out? Will it be equal to 0? No, it will not be equal to 0 because an open circuit doesn't mean that the voltage is 0 over here. So the current is 0, but the voltage is there. So what will be V out? V out will be equal to V in. That means whenever both the diodes are off, output will follow the input. Okay, now let us check the cases over here, the input output waveforms. So this is the input output waveforms. So over here, as we can clearly see that the gray color waveform is my input, and the purple, sorry, the next one, that is the V out of T, that is a magenta color. Okay, so here we have it. So whenever V in is greater than VD1 on, that time diode D1 is on, and the voltage across the diode is VD1 on. Okay, and whenever the V in is less than minus VD2 on, the voltage across the diode is minus VD2 on, and diode D2 will be on. And if V in is less than VD1 on and it is greater than minus VD2 on, both the diodes are off and my output follows the input, as you can see. Okay, the magenta color and the gray color waveforms are having the same this thing. They are overlapping basically. That means output is following the input whenever both the diodes are off. What about the voltage transfer characteristics? The voltage transfer characteristics look something like this. So we have a straight line passing through the origin, that is whenever V in is equal to whenever V out is equal to V in, whenever both the diodes are on, that is the condition when you have a straight line passing through the origin with a slope of 1. And here in this region, V in is less than VD1 on and it is greater than minus VD2 on. Now, whenever V in becomes greater than VD1 on over here, at that particular time, my output voltage is a constant equal to VD1 on. And whenever V in is less than minus VD2 on, that time my output voltage is constant and equal to minus VD2 on. So these are the values of this is how the VTC curve looks like, voltage transfer characteristics. So here we have a clipping on both the cycles, that is positive as well as negative cycle. So this type of clipper is called as a combinational clipper, or it is also called as a two level clipper or a two-way clipper. Two level clipper, or we can call it as a combinational clipper. Okay, now let us quickly build this circuit in LTspice and check the relevant waveforms. So here this is my LTspice window. So let me quickly build up the circuit. Yeah, so I'll require a voltage source. So here is my voltage source. Now I will require a resistor. Here is the resistor. Then I require two diodes, one connected this way and one connected in the reverse direction. Fine. And then I'll make the connections. Okay, sorry. Let me make the connections quickly. So here are my connections. So until I complete the circuit, the resistor in the circuit, its value should be greater than your turn on voltage resistance. Or sorry, whenever the diode is on state resistance of the diode, it should be greater than that. Okay, this is my circuit. So both the diodes I will select it as IN4148. So here it is, and the second one also IN4148. Okay, then let me just put that aside over here. Then the resistor value can be 1K, and input V in will be sinusoidal waveform with an DC offset of 0 and amplitude of 5 volts and peak value and frequency of 1000. Okay, so this is my V out. So I'm labeling the V out and V in nodes over here. So very quickly we have made the circuit, and don't forget to add the ground. So here is my ground. So our circuit is ready. Let us cross check. Yeah, it's the same. Register, diode D1, D2, and input, right? So we'll check the output now. So we'll click on run. Frequency we have given as 1000. So time period will be 2 milliseconds, and we'll click on OK. And now we plot the first we'll plot the input. So I right click on this, add trace. First I'll plot the input. So this is my input, 5 volts peak value. That means 10 volts peak to peak, and this will be my output. Okay. Now let us check whether we are getting the same one. Yes, it's almost the same one. Let's check the value of VD1 on and VD2 on over here. So the value of VD1 on is 650 millivolts, that is 0.65, that is fair enough, and minus 0.65. So as you can see, the output is limited between the diode voltages for positive and negative. So as soon as the input is between these levels, it is following the output, and if the input tries to goes above VD1 on, it's limited, and if the input tries to goes below VD minus VD2 on, it's also limited. The output is limited. Hence, it is called as a two-level clipper. Now, let us quickly check the VTC curve. So I'll right-click over here, and I'll add V of V in, and I'll click on OK. So let me delete this V in now, not needed. So this is my, this is the curve, the voltage transfer characteristics, as you can see. Now you will see you will say, sir, this is straight line and this is slightly tilted. It is tilted because the reason is we are using an approximate model, constant voltage model. In reality, the diode voltage slightly increases with the voltage. It's exponentially, right? So we are just using an approximate model. So that's why we are getting this practically a slight tilt. But that is not, that is absolutely fine. And in between, we are getting a region which is almost like a straight line. So it is exactly as we have seen. So here it is the expanded view, okay, of the same thing. So across zero, as we can see, it is almost a straight line passing to the origin, and then there is a deviation over here. It's not a straight line because of the approximation of constant voltage. Because we have here it is a straight line because of constant voltage model, and here it is slightly tilting because we are using the actual exponential model for calculation they are using. Okay, fine. So that's how we can check the VTC curve and the input output waveforms. Fine. Now let's go for clipper number 7B. So here what are we doing is, here we have added two additional DC supplies, VB1 and VB2. So what is VB1 doing? If you see carefully, VB1 is opposing diode D1 to turn on, and VB2 is opposing diode D2 to turn on. Okay, so earlier we have seen this scenario. So for clipper number 7B, let me change it here only. So let's consider VB on as VD on is 0.7 and VB is 1 volt. Both VB1 and VB2 are 1 volt. So VB1 and VB2 are 1 volt. Let's consider that. Okay, so when the diode D1 will be on, so diode D1 will be on when V in is greater than VD on, and we have this additional voltage. So it should be minus or plus. It is not helping. It is opposing the diode D1 to turn on. So it has to be plus because we have to additionally apply that voltage. So here it will be plus VB1. So whenever Vin is greater than VD1 on plus VB1, then the diode D1 is on and diode D2 is off. So during that time over here, what is my output? So if you can see clearly over here, if you draw the equivalent circuit, my output will be equal to, let me just take this over here. Yeah. So my output will be equal to VD1 on plus VB1. So VD1 on plus VB1. Okay. Now what is the next condition? When is the diode D2 will be on? So D2 will be on whenever V in is less than VD2 on, if VB2 was 0. Now with the inclusion of VB2, it is opposing the diode D2 to turn on. So that opposing will be, that means that much extra voltage we have to apply. So that will be minus VB2. Okay. So whenever V in is less than, minus VD2 on, or minus VB2, then the diode D2 is on and D1 is off. So let us check that. Yeah. Whenever V in is less than minus VD2 on, minus VB2, diode D2 will be on, and your equivalent circuit will be like this. So what will be V out? V out will be equal to minus VD2 on minus VB2. So what is this number? What we can write over here? This will be minus 1.7 volts. Let's consider this. And this will be greater than zero point 0.7 plus 1 volt, that is 1.7 volts. That's what we are believing using the constant voltage model. This will be minus 1.7 volts. Okay. And when will be the both the diodes will be on in between this condition? If Vin is less than this number, that is VD1 on plus VB1, and Vin is greater than minus VD2 on and minus VB2, then both the diodes will be off. Here is the condition written over here. So I'm not writing that again over here. So let me, okay, fine. Let me do that. Plus VB1, and here it will be minus VB2. So both the diodes will be off, and your output circuit will reduce to this. My V out will be equal to V in. That means output will follow the input whenever both the diodes are off. And let us quickly see the output waveforms over here. So here is my output waveforms. We can clearly see whenever V in is greater than VD1 on plus VB1, that is around 1.7 volts, diode D1 is on, and output voltage is limited to 1.7 volts. Let's consider 1.7 volts. And whenever V in is less than minus 1.7 volts, diode D2 is on, and the output is limited to minus 1.7 volts. And in between these two conditions, both the diodes are off and output follows the input. So what has happened with the inclusion of this DC voltages in the series with the diodes? What has happened? The clipping level, the clipping level of both, I mean, of the circuit for both the positive and negative half cycle can be changed. It is increased now. Earlier it was just VD1 on and VD2 on. Now it has become greater. Fine. Now this is the input output waveform for a two-level clipper. And this will be the similar characteristics. As you can see, we have a wider region over here. Okay, so whenever V in is less than 1.7 and greater than minus 1.7, then only the output will be equal to the input, which will be represented by a straight line. So above 1.7, V in is above 1.7, output will be limited, and V in is less than 1.7, the output will be limited. Okay, so let us quickly check that in the LTspice. So here we have to add two supplies, so we'll require some space. Let us check that space out. Okay, so now I will delete this and add the two voltages. Okay, so one voltage I will add over here, and one I have to reverse it. Oh, sorry, another voltage also I have to add over here by reversing it, I guess. Okay, fine. I have to do small modification in the above circuit only. Addition of the DC voltages. So this is my VB1, whose value will be 1 volt, and this is my VB2, whose value also will be 1 volt. Okay, so let us check if this is the circuit which we are building. Yeah, so this is the one. So we have V in R1, D1, D2, VB1, VB2, as you can see very clearly. Okay, now what we have to do is we have to check the input output waveforms first. So let me directly go, I mean, it will show you the VTC curve first, because that was the option given. So here you see the increase in the levels. So we have estimated the level to be 1.7 and minus 1.7. And here we are getting around, let's see. Yeah, we are getting 1.64, close to 1.7. Okay. And again, here on this side, you will get minus 1.64. So that is absolutely fine. So this is properly coming. All right. Then we can test the input output waveforms. So I'll close this and I'll again simulate, click on run, and I'll plot input first, followed by the output. So here you see increase in the levels now. So these levels have increased. So let me check. Let me just keep it over here. Yeah. So there are some increase in the levels. So let me check the output amplitude over here. We have said it should be around 1.7 and minus 1.7. But here it's coming close to 1.64 and minus 1.64. Yeah, absolutely fine. Correct. Without the supply VB1, it was coming 0.64. So with the addition of this supply, it is coming 1.64. So this is how the two level clipper works. So since we have added over here, uh, you know, a power, I mean, a DC supply VB1 and VB2, this type of clipper is called as biased combinational clipper or a biased two level clipper. So what is the power given to us by adding the two VB1 and VB2? This is symmetric, or you can select a VB1 higher value and VB2 lower value. So that will become asymmetric. Fine. So VB1, adding VB1 and VB2 are giving us the power to decide what will be the clipping level at the positive side, what will be the clipping level at the negative side. Okay. So with this, we have completed clipper number 7A and 7B, which is the last clipper in the parallel clippers category. So that is all for today. Next time we will start with the series clipper topic. Until then, have a good day and thank you.